Welcome to the newsletter. Complicated fighting in Donbass, fierce on the southern Ukrainian front. On Channel HT New Ukrinform news agency, the General Staff of the Ukrainian Army said that the Russian troops are trying to strengthen their positions in the temporarily occupied areas, focusing on restraining the actions of the Ukrainian defense forces in certain directions, and attacks in the cities of Bakhmut, Avdiivka and Novopavlivka in the Donetsk Oblast, Donbass region, eastern Ukraine. In the past day, Russian forces have fired 3 missiles and 10 airstrikes, causing damage to many settlements in the Kharkiv, Donetsk, Zaporizhia and Kherson provinces. The Russian army also deployed many cannons, mortars, and multiple rocket launchers (MLRS) to target the provinces of Sumy, Mykolaiv and the Bur River region. On November 8, Ukrainian forces struck more than 16 times on enemy targets, hitting 4 command posts, 12 military groups, ammunition depots and military equipment of Russia and 4 defense systems. Not of Moscow. According to CNN, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky acknowledged the extremely complicated situation on the Eastern Front, as fighting between the two forces remained fierce in the Luhansk and Donetsk regions. Information from Russia. According to the TASS news agency, the self-proclaimed Luhansk People's Republic (LPR) government said that Ukraine's armed forces fired 2 rockets from US-made high-mobility artillery systems (HIMARS) towards the city. Stakhanov of the LPR on the morning of November 9. Acting Deputy Governor of Kherson Province, Kirill Stremisov, said that Kiev troops were trying to advance north of Kherson, and fierce fighting was taking place in the area. According to him, Ukrainian forces tried to spy on the area near the village of Posad Pokrovskoye, the city of Bereslav and the city of Snehorivka, in which the fighting in Snehorivka is extremely fierce. He added that the Ukrainian side had suffered great losses when it attacked the city of Mykolaiv in the province of the same name. He called it a powerless advance and was repelled by Russian artillery fire. The Kiev army suffered heavy losses in terms of manpower, according to him. LPR spokesman Denis Miroshnichenko said the law would pass legislation making the LPR part of Russia as early as November. He also added that the LPR will adopt a new constitution by the end of the year. Related developments. On November 8, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky raised conditions with Russia to sit at the negotiating table, emphasizing that this scenario can only happen when Russia returns the territories it has occupied since February. Reuters reported. In addition, Zelensky said that Kiev only comes to negotiations when Moscow agrees to compensate for the damage from the war, as well as asking the Kremlin to ensure that the conflict will not recur. President Zelensky noted that Ukraine is not under any pressure from the West to move forward in negotiations with Russia. Speaking at the United Nations Climate Change Summit COP27 in Egypt, Mr. Zelensky mentioned the war between Moscow and Kiev that has dragged on for the past few months. The war that Russia started has caused a serious food crisis in the world. This crisis is worse for those countries that are affected by climate change, Zelensky said. According to him, in just 6 months, the Russian military campaign has destroyed more than 2 million hectares of forests in Ukraine. We must stop those who launch illegal wars that are destroying efforts for the common good of the world, he called. According to Ukrinform, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Thomas Greenfield has announced that Washington, through the U.S. Agency for International Development (USAID), will provide $25 million in assistance to Kiev to help vulnerable Ukrainian populations. Wounded survive the harsh winter. According to Reuters, the Italian government is preparing a new weapons package for Ukraine, including air defense systems. The Italian official, speaking on condition of anonymity, said Rome was ready to provide Kiev with a variety of air defense systems, including the SAMP-T medium-range air defense missile system, the Aspide, and the Stinger man-portable air defense missile. However, according to Ukrinform, it is not yet clear how much the Italian side will supply and when the first batch of weapons can be delivered to Kiev. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel, share to support and update the latest videos from the HT News channel.